Hey students, Eric Magidson here. I want to provide a quick video in regards to the if statement, or as some might call the if function in Excel. First of all, we need to understand what the if function is, and if we just come into the cell where we want to utilize the if function and type equals if, it's going to give us a brief description. It says checks whether a condition is met and returns one value of true and another value of false. Well, what do they mean by a condition? Well, let me remind you that when we're learning new functions in Excel, or we're using a function that we don't use a lot, there's a much better way to do this, and that is to come up here to our basic functions and choose more functions. Now by doing this, you can see I've already chosen the if function once, so I'm just going to double click on it and it opens up the function arguments box. Now the great thing about the function arguments box is it gives us more information besides that basic definition we get. Here it says, well, in this box here that's going to contain the logical test, it needs to be any value or expression that can be evaluated to true or false. Well, think about that. A logical expression. Something like, is this equal to something else? True or false? If I take this number and multiply it by 2, is it equal to this? Is it greater than this? Is it less than this? Is it equal to or greater than this? Well, in our case, we want a logical function based on this simple data that I put together that tests, did this salesperson sell enough to earn the bonus? Well, it says here, sales to earn the bonus, they got to sell 1,000, you can see dollars, right? So they got to sell $1,000 in the third quarter to get the bonus. Well, we know right away that Bill Murray did not sell $1,000. So in his case, the answer is going to be no. And we want to create a function that does that for us. So in our logical test, what I'm going to do is test just Bill Murray's third quarter sales. And I'm going to say, is that greater than or equal to? It can be equal to because they have to sell 1,000. It doesn't say they have to sell 1,000, more than 1,000, right? They can sell more than or equal to 1,000 in my business case. And then the test is going to be, did they sell more than that number? Now, before we go any further, we have to remember to make that second cell value, C11, absolute. So as we iterate down these formulas, we're testing, did Bill Murray sell more? Did Susan sell more? Did Jack Brown sell more? More than what? More than this 1,000. Not more than whatever is in the next cell as we iterate down. Okay, so there's absolute. Now, this first one, all I want to do is yes or no. Yes or no being true or false. If it's true that they sold it, then yes, they get the bonus. If it's false and they did not reach it, then no, they don't get the bonus. Well, one thing to do with text, and Excel will do it for you, but I always like to do it myself, especially when I'm using the function arguments box. If I'm going to return a text value, a word, I put it in quotes. So I said, quote, yes if it's true, they earn the bonus, and quote, no if it's false. Now, in our case that we're doing right now with this function, we know that the expression, is C5 greater than or equal to C11? It's false. So we know in this case, the answer should be no because the result is false. And we're going to say, okay. Now at this point, we can just fill on down, and we can always audit, just real quick, audit a few. Now, we're dealing with a basic data set here, but in a business, you know, say a large company, this may be something that's being done for 60,000 salespeople around the world. Well, we wouldn't want to have to manually type in for 60,000 rows, yes, they received the bonus, no, they didn't. Could we make a mistake? Yes. Have we talked about the fact that in Excel, we've got to give the exact values? Your managers, business owners are going to make decisions based on Excel spreadsheets. If we give them the wrong information, they're going to make the wrong decisions, and I guarantee you're not going to hold a job making those kind of mistakes. All right, so that was an easy one. All we were going to return was true or false. Well, the bonus amount, okay? Well, I'm going to come down here and say bonus amount. If I could type this evening, bonus amount. And I'm going to come here and put 0.10, okay? Or if I convert this, it becomes 10%. Now when I'm dealing with percentages, I always like to take it out to 2 decimal places. That way if it's 10.25%, 10.5%, a lot of times percentages, will be quarter percentages in addition to whatever's in front for the whole percentage. So 10%. 10% of their third quarter sales is going to be the bonus. But they only get the bonus if they have yes in this column, right? So let's go ahead and figure out how we might write a function like that. Well, here we go. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to do more functions. I'm going to do the if function. And I'm going to say the logical test is if the value in here is equal to yes. Okay. Notice I put it in quotes, so it's checking, is the value equal to yes? It is false, because it's a no. If it's true, then what I want to do is take the sales bonus times the value there. And remember, this is a static value or an absolute value, so I'll make that F4 because we're not going to, for the next person, take whatever values in C13, right? So there, and if it's false, I'm just going to put in a 0. Okay, so if it's false, it's a 0. And if you notice here, if we look and audit our function, we'll see this is false. If it was true, it would return 75 bucks. Is 75 bucks 10% of 750? Yes, but in this case, the result is false. They get 0 or no bonus. So I'll say okay. I'll fill this down. And for those people that earned a bonus, yes, yes, and yes, we have 10% of their bonus. So I hope this helps you. Again, I can't reiterate enough. You gotta play with these. Come up with your own scenarios of yes, no, if it's true, is it false, etc. So great things that you can come up with. Just use a little imagination, use a little critical thinking, and you'll find it. All right, that's it for the if. That's it for the if statement. Have a good day.